...2017, what a time for gaming. Today I'm going to be giving you my top 10 personal pick of new games coming out for 2017. Now a lot of the games coming out are going to be most likely earlier on this list, but I'm going to try and span it out, maybe middle, a few games at the end too, and at the end I'm going to include some honorable mentions. But to start it right off, at number 10 I'm going to give it to Nier Automata. And this game is a lot like Dark Souls 3. It's just a lot like the Souls series, Bloodborne as well. That's what turned me onto it. I thought it was really interesting, and I thought that it had an amazing concept to it. Just one little thing that looks different is the camera angles as you progress around the maps, is what I noticed during the demo, and what you might also notice during the little trailer of gameplay I'm showing you now. But for the most part, it just looked like a really fluent and fun kind of game, where you roam around, you go against bosses, you learn the story, and you get better as you progress through the game. And it just looks really interesting. Up next at number 9, I'm going to give it to Horizon Zero Dawn. Now a lot of people might be a little surprised, thinking, what's wrong with this guy? But I actually thought it's more of a hype-based game. And although I feel that way about a couple other games that I put on this list, this one specifically I just don't want to get too excited about. However, it does look like it's got an interesting concept. It reminds me a lot of Far Cry almost, and I did definitely enjoy that series. But this one just has like a nice little twist to it, how it's just all about the robotic dinosaurs and all that stuff. A little bit back to the basics, like a bow. She's got that nice little knife, I believe a staff and a lance also. I don't think there's a wide variety of weapons that you can use, but it does look really interesting. All the layouts and how it's free roam in a nice big open world. We're going to see right here as she gets to the top of this long-necked dinosaur, it's going to act as a map, sort of like the radio towers in Far Cry have the same kind of layout to them, and they provide you with like new territories of the map once you get on top of them, and just activate the map and you can open it up and see more of the world surrounding wherever I suppose this dinosaur roams around. And it's pretty interesting. It's a nice concept. I like it, and that's why it made it on this list, not just an honorable mention. It's gonna be good. I look forward to it, but just not gonna get too excited over it. But let's move on. Now taking the number 8 spot is going to be Persona 5, and although I'm frankly new to the Persona series, it actually does look like it's going to be a pretty interesting game. And overall, I believe I've played a game this style before. It kind of reminds me of older Final Fantasies. I don't know if that's a good kind of example because I've never played the series before, but it does also remind me of an older game, actually for the GameCube. Reminds me of Yu-Gi-Oh! The False-Bound Kingdom, the way the battle scenes are set up. And it does look interesting. I don't really play these kinds of games often, but this one particularly caught my eye, and I don't know, it looks kind of promising. So I mean, it's number 8. It's got a good little flow to it. I like it. So number 7 is Tales of Zestiria, and I know what you're thinking. Wow, another anime game, and he's only 4 games in. Well, in all seriousness, this game just really looks interesting. I mean, I did watch part of Tales of Zestria, I believe it was, or Zestiria. And it was a pretty interesting series. I never got to finish it, but it really was interesting, and just the game looks interesting. I can't stop saying interesting, but it catches my eye. It's got a nice concept to it, and I just like these styles of games. I really do. It's one of my favorites. And I mean, what better way to understand a show than to play the game first that it's based off of? So I can't wait to try this one out. I know it's coming out later in the year, but I'm ready for it. And it just looks awesome, so that's why I took number 7. Coming up next at number 6, it's going to be Outlast 2. And I played the original Outlast, and I just thought that I needed another one. I needed a sequel. I'm not really a big horror person, but when this came out, I had so much fun with it. So I'm really looking forward to Outlast 2. I didn't completely finish 1, but I watched a lot of playthroughs of it, and I'm very close, but I need to finish it. It's just such an amazing game, and I'm looking forward to this sequel, so we'll see what happens. It's number 6, and it's a great game. Next up, number 5, and that's going to be Sniper Elite 4. Now, I did play one of the Sniper Elite games, and it wasn't the normal ones. I played Zombie Army Trilogy, but it's still the same game, basically, but it's zombies, obvious enough. They still shoot at you sometimes and all that, but besides that, it's a really great series, and I can just tell you that based off of one game, and I see a lot of potential in the 4th one. Some people may have been saying that the campaign is getting bland and repetitive, but I don't know, I think this one looks like it's going to be much more promising than the last few. Number 4, Battalion, 1944. This game just looks absolutely amazing to me. I mean, with all the war games coming out like Battlefield 1 and obviously Call of Duty, which I think is declining, it's just, this game looks very, very promising. And it's been a while since we've had a World War II game. And we've seen one, obviously, with Battlefield, and we all know Call of Duty hasn't been realistic in maybe 5 or 6 years. So it's nice to get back to the basics. One of the greatest wars to base a game off of, and it looks fantastic. And this is why it takes number 4. Number 3, Boundless. Now this game, I can only explain in one way: revolutionary. It's such an amazing game. And people might be thinking number 3 is a pixel game that looks like a ripoff of Minecraft. I mean, we've always had these games that have tried to copy Minecraft, and obviously, yeah, this looks like it, but it's more to it than that. It doesn't look like you've got to like have a friends list, invite friends to a server, unless you're a PC gamer, obviously enough. But this list is basically for the consoles. But it's just such a revolutionary way to like design a sandbox kind of game, and it looks like there's just this like, big meeting area. It almost looks like an RPG and Minecraft mix. Something that I actually thought Minecraft story mode was going to be, but this is such a great concept, and I like to see games like this a lot when they just look like they're about to be like another step in like the best direction for gaming. And it's number 3. Still more to come. Number 2, Mass Effect Andromeda. Now, I've never played a game of the Mass Effect series before, but this one just looks like it's going to get me right into it. And out of all the shooters that have come out in the past few years, this one just looks amazing to me. And all the others just haven't done it for me. It feels like shooters have been lacking lately, and this one just looks like it's going to get me right back into it with all the new quest lines and features that it's saying it has. Obviously, you never want to get too hyped for a game, but between this one and the others, I'd go with this one any day. And number 1 is For Honor. Now, this one is just a given. I'm all about the medieval, and as much as I love Dark Souls and games of the sorts, just Renaissance in any case, they've always just looked so amazing to me, and I've been a big fan of games like this. And I've always been hoping for Dark Souls to have some sort of online interface like this, and when I finally see something just finally on the list to be released, it's going to be my number 1 any day. It just beats anything. I've always had such an interest in swords and all of that stuff back in the day, the Dark Ages, the Renaissance. I mean, you just can't like go back to stuff like that. And the fact that we have games like that now that can just bring that back, it's out of this world. Now we're going to get into some honorable mentions. Now, I'm going to go over this really quickly and just say that 2017 is going to be a promising year for gaming. I can guarantee you that. All these games just look really interesting, and I'm getting right back into the use of interesting, but these games are going to be out of this world, and most of them are just going to be top tier. You're going to love them. Even the honorable mentions, they may not have made the list, but they downright should have if there was 1 or 2 that wouldn't have been included. However, these series, just like Resident Evil and Kingdom Hearts, Final Fantasy, they have been just revolutionary. They were going on for a long time. They're a dynasty, and I don't see them going downhill anytime soon. And you can't beat basics. So this just you can't just go back to like old things like 8-bit and all that and expect them to like be good if they were made nowadays. So it's just a fact that they're not going to be the same. But I want to thank you guys for watching, because we're approaching the end of the video, and check out our other stuff, and new things will be coming on the way.